Now, what are we seeing in the media? How do they want you to perceive your opinion when you think about aliens? If you haven't noticed, the past few years we've had so many movies and television series relating to aliens. Could the FBI also releasing documents saying aliens do exist be a way for people to slowly prepare themselves for something?
Don't be frightened. We mean no harm.
And today, a group of scientists overseas say that world governments should start preparing an action plan just in case Earth is contacted by aliens. They claim that a branch of the UN should be given responsibility for what they call a supra-Earth affairs and come up with a detailed response for if or when the extraterrestrials arrive.
But now the United Nations is getting ready for a contact with aliens from outer space. This is Moslin Othman. She's out of Malaysia. She will be planet Earth's first interstellar diplomat.
An incredible story coming out of the Vatican. Listen to this. The senior Vatican scientist said that he would be delighted if we encountered intelligent aliens and would be happy to baptize them. His pronouncement opens up the possibility of space missionaries heading out to the stars to convert aliens to Christianity.
Did the Vatican find alien life?
You know what? As sensationalistic as that question sounds, it's really not that far off from what we've seen in the news over these last days.
UFO encounters here on Earth.
But that's exactly what firefighters are now training for.
It's the Fire Officer's Guide to Disaster Control and said to be found in firehouses across the U.S. The book covers everything from fires to floods, but it's chapter 13 that takes an unusual twist in firefighting techniques titled Enemy Attack in UFO Potential.
It would not be remiss to give some thought to the part that fire departments might play in the event of the unexpected arrival of UFOs in their communities.
Or is it enough to warrant a UFO education red alert?
This is something that could really happen in our lifetime.
It even asks, how do you treat injured aliens? Are first responders aware of the potential physical injuries?
This is a real phenomena that we should deal with. We should deal with seriously.
Sometime later this year or next year, we expect them to announce. Astronomers will announce that we found it, the Holy Grail. I think it's premature for us to announce our presence in outer space until we know their intention.
Naturally, we have saved you the best for last. A fake alien invasion is not the only plan they have to drag us deeper into the New World Order. But before we get into that, I want to reveal to you a shocking fact. Have you heard about the Disclosure Project? Let me give you the brief definition of it. It is a research project working to fully disclose the facts about UFOs, extraterrestrial intelligence, and classified advanced energy and propulsion systems. They have over 500 government, military, and intelligence community witnesses testifying to their direct, personal, first-hand experience with UFOs, ETs, ET technology, and the cover-up that keeps this information secret. That sounds pretty neat to those who do not know that the project was initiated and funded by the Rockefellers. And if you have been paying attention to this video, then you now know that the Rockefeller Foundation conducted the psychological warfare test in 1938. Sounds pretty scary, doesn't it? Before we move on, I will read you a direct quote from David Rockefeller, so you can get to know him better.
For more than a century, ideological extremists at either end of the political spectrum have seized upon well-publicized incidents, such as my encounter with Castro, to attack the Rockefeller family for the inordinate influence they claim we wield over American political and economic institutions. Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists, and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that is the charge, I stand guilty, and I am proud of it.
While making this video the past couple days, we have noticed something strange about one of our favorite physicists in science, Dr. Michio Kaku.
Let me make a prediction, and that is sometime by mid-century, we might make contact with an intelligent civilization in outer space. And then the question is, if we start to explore outer space and look for advanced civilizations, why don't they talk to us? Why don't they land here in Saudi Arabia and say, we come in peace? Well, my attitude is, if you walk down a country road and you see an anthill, do you go down to the ants and say, I bring you trinkets, I bring you beads, I give you nuclear energy, take me to your leader? Or maybe you step on a few of them. What does it mean for us? What are we? Are we type 1 that control the power of a planet? Are we type 2 that control the power of a star? Are we type 3 that can control galaxies, alter the fabric of space and time? No. We are type 0.
That is quite a prediction there, Dr. Michio. Of course, we believe that there is life out in the universe. For humans to be the only intelligent life out there is a mathematical impossibility. Mathematics is a universal language. And we are intelligent, sentient beings, capable of communicating with other species that are more advanced with technology. The analogy of humans being ants is not an accurate one. To give you an idea of how far away the nearest star to the Sun is, it is around 44 trillion kilometers away. You can reach that destination in about 4.2 years. Traveling at the speed of light, that is. If aliens were to visit us, it could be 1,000 years ago, tomorrow, or 1,000 years into the future. For a physicist to make that sort of prediction is uncanny. We will now show you an example of other events you should watch out for. Whether it is airplanes leaving thick white clouds behind, another virus scare along with an experimental vaccine, or the chupacabras coming back eating your dogs and cats. Here is a clear example of what they are capable of.
Back now to our top story, a terrible mystery gripping the world right now. Birds, fish, and all kinds of creatures just dropping dead in huge numbers for what seems like no reason. Just in the last 2 weeks, the theories and speculation running rampant, including possible fireworks-related deaths, to questions about whether this is all a sign of the apocalypse. How exactly is the science world explaining this, though? Michio Kaku is professor of physics at City University in New York and author of the soon-to-be-released Physics of the Future. All right, Michio, so I just want our viewers to know that you graduated #1 in your physics class at Harvard, which, you know, I mean, I got an A in torts at Albany Law School, but you seem to know what you're talking about. And how do you, big-brained man, explain, let me just give the viewers a feeling, 8,000 dead turtle doves in Italy, hundreds of birds dead in Rockwell, Texas, 500 red-winged blackbirds in Louisiana, 100 birds in Sweden, 3,000 dead red-winged blackbirds in Arkansas, several hundred dead in Kentucky. On the fish, several hundred snapper fish in New Zealand, thousands of dead fish in Florida, 40,000 devil crabs in the UK, 80,000 drumfish in Arkansas, 2 million spot and croakers in Maryland in the last 2 weeks.
All the evidence points to a mass suicide of thousands of red-winged blackbirds that followed the leader bird that got disoriented. The red-winged blackbird flies in tight formation, and they have very bad eyesight. And if the lead bird gets disoriented by fireworks, thunderstorm, or lightning, they could be led into mass suicide like lemmings going over a cliff. And believe it or not,
why would it be happening all at the same time with these red-winged blackbirds are really the biggest casualties?
Believe it or not, these things happen all the time. The U.S. Geological Survey says that in the last 30 years, there have been 16 incidences, one every other year, of a mass die-off of red-winged blackbirds of over 1,000 at a time. And if you look at random events of die-offs of all animals, it turns out that on average 163 die-offs take place every year. That's one every other day.
We've had so is it just that we're paying more attention this time?
That's it. It turns out that these die-offs are just below the radar. They happen all the time. In fact, in 1996, there were almost 250,000 ducks that died in Canada, a catastrophic number of...
So nothing to worry about. That's the bottom line. It happens all the time. There you go. And pay no attention to the snow behind us. It's not hurting anybody as far as we know.
What makes us think we're ready for contact with extraterrestrial beings? Imagine if aliens came to visit peacefully. They wouldn't be handing out their replicators or their technology to us. Just imagine what would happen if more advanced, superior beings told us the truth of many of the questions humanity has been asking since our existence. Remember, everyone still believes in their own God here on Earth, their own beliefs. We go to war against each other. Opium poppy fields are guarded by soldiers. The tobacco company is one of the largest companies in the world that kills millions of people each year. We kill innocent animals that we have already classified as being sentient beings. And every now and then, the most powerful government on this planet conducts false flag operations. I believe that there is life out there without a doubt. But for them to coincidentally want to show themselves now is making no sense to me. I believe that there is a possibility that there can be hostile alien Nazis out there. But I think that if we are being watched by aliens, they would not want to interfere with us. And I think that they will be more like us than we can imagine. Look at it this way. The strongest emotions that we have is fear and love. All these other emotions branch out from these. And if you believe that these emotions are out in the universe, then I think it would be really hard for a species to be malevolent and successfully go out into space trying to conquer the universe.
See